Let's move on and let's go to our predicted lineup. Ange has been speaking in the press conference, and that injury list is mounting.
Yeah, Romero, I don't think you mentioned Romero, but he wasn't seen in training, so I assume he's still going to be out for tomorrow. Obviously, he said he was a doubt for the game on the weekend. He said he was okay, but they decided to just be extra cautious with him, so they gave him the week off. So that would imply he could have been fit for today, but looks like still not in training, so whether that means he's going to be out for the weekend as well, we'll have to wait and see. Obviously, Van de Ven remains out. Jed Spence is ineligible. Odegaard, Richarlison, a long-term injuries. We're adding Vicario to that as well. Mikey Moore, I don't know if you mentioned him in the presser, but obviously Paul O'Keefe's saying he's going to be out for another 3 weeks at least, so he remains out. And also not on the list is actually Will Lancashire, who's suspended for this game. Got a 1-game suspension, so he's not going to be available for tomorrow night.
All right, just quickly on Cuti Romero, I was having this conversation with someone last night. Do you feel like, for you, not what Ange is going to do, but for you, if Romero is available for the weekend, he comes straight back in, and it's a case of, we just always play our best defender in terms of Cuti Romero? Or do you feel like the performance that Radu showed on Man City should be commended, and maybe he should take the berth for Fulham? I know this isn't a Fulham predicted lineup, but
I think it depends on how they play tomorrow night. If if Davis and Radu are as good as they were on Saturday tomorrow, I'll stick with them. There's no reason not to. They showed they can do it. If one of them lets their standards drop and they're not as good, I think Romero's just got to come back in because he is our best defender. So I think it's about them being able to keep it up. They had a brilliant game on the weekend. They had a brilliant game when they played Villa and City in the Cup as well. But when they played Galatasaray, they both really struggled. And I remember when they played Coventry, they both really struggled. And so I don't think we can sit here and say they've been brilliant every game, but I don't think as well you can disrespect the performance they put in on Saturday. And if they can keep it up on Thursday, I'll stick with them on Sunday.
All right, let's get into this predicted lineup. 4-3-3 as per usual. In goal, we are going for Fraser Forster, but there is a small case for Brandon Austin this game.
There is, but considering Forster we know he's going to be at least playing in the Premier League for the foreseeable, I think it's important to get him up to speed as soon as possible, and that means playing him on Thursday, I would say. Obviously, he's been rotated in Europa League with Vicario, so that would kind of insinuate maybe Austin is going to get some game time in Europa League. I just think it would be silly to do it in this game. I think it's an important game. We need Fraser's experience, and as well, he is going to be in the team for a long stretch of games, so we just need to get him back in the net, get him kind of getting familiar with the team again, because he's going to be in that goal for a consistent period. So I think he has to play tomorrow.
I mean, in terms of him getting familiar with the team, he has had quite a few games this season. It's not like he hasn't seen a minute of football, has it?
Agreed, but I think he needs to be playing. I think we need to realize, we know he's going to be our starting keeper, and I think the first game with Vicario injured, he needs to be in. He needs to get as much football with that back line for game time as possible, and I think that starts tomorrow, in my opinion.
Right back, we are going to look at Archie Gray. I think he's been pretty good every time he's stepped in, and another big game for him.
Yeah, and obviously probably his toughest test yet, you would say. Well, actually, he played against Galatasaray, but obviously Roma...
Played against Man City as well.
Did play... Okay, maybe it's not his toughest test yet, but obviously Roma are a good team. As much as they're not doing well in Serie A, they've still got brilliant players. You look at their squad, El Shawari potentially playing down that side. So, going to be a really good test for him to play against a top-level team, and looking forward to see how he gets on. And I think, Gray has been pretty good whenever he stepped in, so excited to see him again.
Right centre-back will be Radu Dragusin on the back of that brilliant performance at the Etihad.
Yeah, and with Romero not seen in training, it looks like we don't really have another option at the moment. But hopefully he really starts to build his confidence after that performance, because I do think that's something that's been holding him back, especially on the ball anyway. His confidence to be composed and just keep things simple and passing through the lines and things like that. And he did a great job against Man City, and hopefully that can give him this confidence that he's just played Haaland, he's just playing City, I can play against anyone now, and hopefully he keeps that feeling. Yeah,
absolutely. And left centre-back will be the ever-reliable Ben Davies, again off the back of a brilliant performance at the Etihad.
Yeah, and we'll see if he gets that new contract as well off the back of that, and hopefully we know he's Mr. Reliable, but Roma do have some very good forwards. You know, Dovbyk, top goal scorer in La Liga last season. I think he's Roma's top goal scorer this season. Dybala potentially playing in this game as well. He needs no introduction. Tricky customer. So they're going to have their work out for them for sure. But look, we know Ben Davis. He never lets you down. So let's hope it's the same tomorrow.
And then to make up that back four at left back will be Destiny Doggy. I mean, I guess the thinking between siding with Destiny over Porro, I just think Destiny had a much more quiet international break than Pedro Porro, so there's more kind of games in Pedro Porro's legs at the moment.
Yeah, who played the Galatasaray game? It was Porro, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I think they've kind of been rotating those fullbacks one game each, isn't it? So I feel like Destiny will come in here. Also, he knows obviously the Serie A quite well. He probably knows Roma quite well, so it's probably the best decision to put him in this one. And he did the presser, and as much as is not always.
Well, he's on the every player that's done the press hasn't played yet. Literally every single one.
Well, Son started against Karabakh, didn't he? But apart from that, yeah.
Apart from that, no one started. But anyway, that's the back four. Let's move into number 6. I mean, this one's a no-brainer. It will be Rodrigo Bentancur. This and the Rangers game are the only games that he's eligible for, so he has to play.
Yeah. Exactly. It's the only football he's going to be getting in the next for the next few weeks. So he has to play. Obviously, Basuma put in so much work as well on the weekend. Important for him to rest up, and he's going to be so heavily worked over the next few weeks. So obviously Rodrigo comes in, and he's been playing well, hasn't he? So I've got no problem with him. No worries about him coming in.
Yeah. Moving in to the attacking midfielder positions, we're going to look at Lucas Bergvall up next. We believe he's going to start. He started the majority, if not all, of the Europa League games so far. And I felt like he had a pretty positive, I know he wasn't on for that long, but a pretty positive cameo when he came on at Man City. Yeah,
and it's important for him to get game time as well. I think whenever he's played at home, he's been pretty good so far. So hopefully this may be, a really big test for him against what's going to be some real physical midfielders. Paredes in there, Cristante, some real good midfielders that he's going to be up against. So really good test for him to see how he fares against them. But again, he's going to need this game time as much as it's an important game. I think it's important as well for his development. He gets on the pitch. So we're going to go for Lucas Bergvall here.
And then to make up that middle three will be James Maddison, we believe, in the middle three. I was thinking about this just now, like maybe it's a case to start Kulusevski, because we all know Kulusevski don't get tired. He's got 3 or 4 lungs. And if James Maddison is going to be playing and starting quite a lot of football, maybe it's worth starting Kulusevski in this game ahead of Maddison.
Yeah, I mean, Maddison's been getting a bit more minutes in the centre than Decky in Europa League over the last few weeks, but that's because Maddison's been out of the team. Now he's back in the team. Is it a case of maybe you've got to rotate them a bit as well? If I'm choosing between one player to start on Thursday who's going to start on Sunday, you probably would favour Decky because you kind of back him to recover quicker than someone like Maddison. So maybe it's a case of Maddison, they'll get him, Maddison will give him an hour and then Decky will come on or something like that. But yeah, we have sided with Maddison just because he has been in general playing more of the games on Thursdays, and he's one of the leaders as well. And with Kuti out, and we're thinking Son might not play. We'll probably want one of the leaders in there, so we're going with Maddison.
So that's Bentancur, Bergvall, and Maddison. However, we do have Fraser Forster in goal, and he's one of the leaders in the squad as well. So
yeah, but in terms of one of the captains.
And I guess Ben Davis is seen as one as well. I guess he's not one of the captains though. But in terms of the forward line, not many options to pick from. But on the right wing, we are going to go for Brennan Johnson.
Yeah, on the bench on the weekend, came on, got half an hour and scored his goal. But given that he didn't start, I think he will start on this one. But his minutes is also going to have to be managed because no Odebear, no Richarlison, obviously no Mikey Moore right now. So we don't really have anyone else on the right. I know Decky played on Saturday, so I expect to see him a bit more there over the next few weeks. But yeah, Brennan, I think, comes back into the start. And obviously, look, he's on great form. 8 goals now in all competitions. So very close to double figures before even the midway point this season. Yeah. So, he's got to be looking at that 15 to 20 mark, I'd say, at this point.
Well, with the way he's going, there's no reason why not. Big Dom Solanke up top. We got no other striker in the squad. I mean, we got Sonny who can't play there, but I feel Sonny will be given a rest in this game.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate with Will Lancashire as well, because he got his goal against Galatasaray, and with that goal, maybe that could have earned him another start, but given the red card, unfortunately, that's not the case. So Solanke has to play, and look, with it being an important game, I think there's always a chance Solanke would have started anyway. But yeah, we need to make sure we get the job done here. So I think we have to go Big Dom.
And then last but not least, on the left-hand side, we are going to go for Turbo Tebow. Great cameo against Manchester City, pretty much ending Kyle Walker's career. And let's hope he can have another good performance here.
Yeah, there were some slight worries about Timo because after that assist, he did look like he was in a bit of pain after when he set up Johnson on Saturday. But Ange says he's come through okay. I was watching some of the training videos and he seems to be part of it. So seems to be absolutely fine. And I think credit where credit's due for Timo. I think last few weeks he's actually been not bad. Scored against City.
Yeah, because it's been international break, he hasn't had to play.
No, I'm saying last few appearances scored against Man City, got an assist against Man City on the Saturday. I thought against Ipswich he was quite bright when he came on as well. So he's actually been providing recently off the bench and even when he started. So hopefully he can carry on that form going into this game and get a bit of confidence, because we know Timo with a bit more confidence can definitely do a bit more than when he's on low confidence. So hopefully he keeps that good feeling.
Yeah. Let's go through that lineup with you guys one more time. And it's Fraser Forster in goal, Archie Gray at right back, Destiny Udogie at left back, centre-back pairing of Radu and Ben Davis. Bentancur, Maddison and Bergvall make up the middle three, with Brennan Johnson on the right, Timo Werner on the left, and Big Dom Solanke up top. That is our predicted lineup to take on Roma at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tomorrow night. Yeah, it's going to be a big one, guys. It is going to be a big one. Let's hope for 3 points, and it's very much needed, to be honest. It really is.